Hey guys, it's Dorr and Ryan from Tactical Hyve, and today's video we're going to be deep diving on the SIG macro TacOps. So stay tuned. Hey guys, today's video on the P365X macro TacOps is brought to us by Vedder Holsters. Vedder Holsters are made in the USA. We use them here on the channel, both when making content and in our classes. So go ahead and check them out in the description below, guys. They can match you up with pretty much any make model you can think of. Let's get to the video. Okay guys, we are back and I've been excited for this one. Big fan of 365. I like the 365 XLs. When the X Macro Gen 1 came out with the comp, really liked it. Not a big fan of comps, obviously for toys, for sporting goods, for competition, of course. I do understand their purpose. I do understand what they do. I just, I'm not afraid to hold the grunt a little bit tighter and, make do with the way it was originally designed. But man, this TacOps, and I knew it was coming. I knew SIG was going to drop it. So when you first picked this one up, it came with the suppressor sights.
It did. And
then you mounted this Holosun EDS carry on there. How you like it?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love the gun. I love the sight. I love the setup. I love that they came out with the suppressor height. Mm-hmm. I'm not loving the mags.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I like to judge books by the cover when it comes to guns. Sometimes I just see a gun and I know I'm going to love it. I shoot it and it's instantly confirmed. I remember the first time I shot a Mark 46 light machine gun. I knew that thing was going to be, that thing and I were meant for each other. And I feel the same way about this. It's a perfect size. And yeah, it's not as big as some of the other ones. I've got a couple full-size 320s. But for a secondary, a secondary weapon system that's going to be hanging out on your hip while you're doing your job or whatever it is with your primary weapon, your shoulder fired, something along the lines of an AR, maybe not. Man, I'm telling you, this is all you need. It's a 17+1 capacity. It's got plenty of real estate for my size large mechanic's glove hand. And it shoots well. I know you swapped out the barrel for an aftermarket, but it probably makes no discernible difference, really, until you start latching things onto the front of it. Comes stock with the flat blade trigger, X style. And did it come stock with this magwell? I think it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And
it's you can take it off. It's a aluminum piece that fits right on the composite frame. And it's got the little star towards the torque wrench setting. Have you had any issues with it coming loose or any problems? Yeah, I haven't noticed any. How long have you had this thing?
Had this one a little over 2 months.
A little over 2 months. And man, we just put quite a few rounds through it today. So we got to be getting north of probably 2K. What, you've had this thing out to the range 3 or 4 times?
Yeah. I would say probably 2,500-ish rounds on it.
Outstanding. You're seeing a little bit of wear, on the bluing on the barrel. It definitely feels like it's been shot. It's got that smoothness to it, that little bit of grind that you get on the brand new guns. That is definitely gone. We call that broken in. Did you have any break-in issues with this? Do you have any failure to cycle?
The only ones I had were before I cleaned it. The first time up, I had just a couple of stovepipes, no big deal. Ran through them at the range, took it home, cleaned it, and she's been running great ever since.
Did you run the EDS carry Holosun the whole time? Like from the first shot?
No, I got that on by the second range trip.
Okay.
Yeah, I was too excited to shoot it. Took it right out at the range, right as I bought it. Okay.
Now let's get to the unfortunate part. Let's talk about these mags, bud. That is a very small. I mean, I grew up with 226 mags, obviously. I guess grew up in my early adulthood. And you can tell this thing's a little bit slimmer. It's a little bit smaller, but it carries 2 more. It's a 17 rounder, this little bad boy. But what's going on with these things? What were the issues?
Well, I love the mag. I love the capacity. The only issue I've had is a couple of times, I've had 2 fail on me now, where when I drop the mag on concrete, the follower will blast past the feed lip. that's a failure in my opinion.
How hard was it to reset?
I couldn't. I did reset it and I ran it again, but it immediately did it again once I did it. Something SIG's gonna have to address. I'm not giving up on the gun by any means. I love the gun. I love the platform. I love the capacity. Love how small it is. But they're gonna have to do something to beef these up.
Okay. It's almost like in the movies, you know, they're always just dropping them on the ground and forgetting them out and they're gone forever. You know, I guess you just gotta adopt the Martin Riggs, you know, version of they're consumable, one-time use. I mean, I remember being a little kid watching those movies, thinking, can you not reuse those? Are those just kind of a one-time thing? Like
Throwaways.
Yeah, just throwaways. So I guess we're back there. I prepped for it, you know, in the early 90s, and I'm ready. I'm ready to just. How much do they cost a piece?
They're about $50.
Woo! $50. Well, you know, ammo costs so much, it really doesn't. We're kind of splitting hairs at this point.
I mean, I'm only gonna be able to afford to put 5 in each.
Yeah,
but
yeah, exactly. But now, and it's always after the last shot when the mag malfunctions.
yeah, as I'm dropping the mag to go for my mag change, you know, train like you fight. Drop the mag, slam a new one home, go to pick that mag back up, and
That's interesting. Did it always happen after you drop the mag on the ground? Have you ever had it happen when you pull the mag out?
no.
So do you think it's the impact that's causing it?
I do think that that hammering force when it hits the ground is popping that spring back up.
Okay.
And it's, you know, great design, but it needs a little more meat at the lip to hold it in. You can see it's not, there ain't a lot holding it in once it gets there.
Yeah, as you guys can see, you know, what we're talking about here, there's just not enough material, you know, kind of maybe concave and over to hold it in place. But yeah, I'm sure SIG's on it. I know you're not the only guy to have this problem. There's other people online talking about it. So we just wanted to get to the bottom of it. But it sounds like it's after the mag gets dropped. So if you were in a emergency situation and you're discarding spent mags on the ground as you're doing your reloads, probably not going to bother you. I don't see how it could. It's the impact on the ground that's causing the malfunction as far as we can tell.
Yeah, and so far it's only been on concrete.
Okay.
The dirt, I've had no problem.
So you're on an indoor range.
Indoor range.
As you were experiencing, yeah, because it's winter time out there, and yeah, good point. So that's interesting, guys. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know if you've got any inputs or experience with your magazine followers popping out. But as far as that goes, guys, I'm sure we'll get it handled. But man, this is. I knew I was going to like it. I knew I was going to love it, but I didn't think I was going to like it and love it this much. Safariland, if you're watching, definitely, and everybody else in the holster world, definitely going to want some dedicated tac holsters, overt, locking. Got the Streamlight 7 on here, the sub, TLR 7. How you liking that thing?
Love it.
I've heard nothing but good things as well. I was monkeying with it a little bit, but I was kind of bright out here. But again, man, thanks for bringing this thing out. It's a dream to shoot. I can't wait to get one. All in on the price, though. So the gun itself, what is that running?
Gun itself retails for around $800. You know, we're at like 4 something on the optic and another 150 on the light. This is my dream setup. It can easily go from concealed carry to on the belt. It's really a do-all. It's a game changer in my mind.
Man, in Afghanistan, guys were going without pistols because they just did not have lightweight pistol options, especially on the Navy side. It was just 226s. Guys were obviously bringing stuff from home, but also on the issue side for the low visibility pistols, we had those single stack 239s, and those were getting used. You know, because all you need to do is get it out and get it into the fight real quick. You have a primary weapon system, hence secondary. Pistols are referred to as secondary in special operations. And man, this thing could do it all. I mean, 17 plus 1. It's a dream to shoot. It comes with the X blade trigger on other SIG offerings. And definitely pick one up. You can also convert SIG 365 XLs, can be converted to this new grip module that takes the macro magazine. The macro magazine and the 365 XL magazine are not compatible. Correct?
Actually, they are.
They
you
are?
can run this in any of the other SIG 365s.
Okay.
I mean, you're going to have some mag hanging out, but they are backwards compatible. But what's also really cool is you're absolutely right. The first one I did, I upgraded my XL with a macro and carried that around for a minute, and that shot like a dream, which
Okay.
prompted me to buy this.
So the 365 mags are too short to fit in here, but you can go backwards from macro to 365. That makes sense. All right. I'm up to speed now, guys. Bear with me. Okay.
So other fun fact, I contacted Streamlight, and they sent me out the hardware to convert my older version SIG lights to macro.
Oh, wow.
So talk about customer
Cool.
service.
And then the macro has the M1913 rail standardized.
Yes, it does.
So they're running that. This thing's about 1 inch wide. It's, gosh.
Oh yeah, they upgraded the controls. I know.
Yeah.
Those
It's got
are
upgrade,
nice.
yeah, definitely upgraded controls on it, more streamlined, less likelihood to accidentally send your slide home on a last shot. I hate it when that happens, especially with gloves. Woo! And I plan on wearing gloves when I use this, because I plan on, capital LARP, man, all caps. All right, L to the P, baby, all capital over here. When I LARP, it's serious business. It's serious, So I'm going to be fully gloved out, and I just having the minimalized controls definitely going to keep me from looking stupid.
Should've
And
made a bigger deal. The ones were smaller.
God damn it, dude. All right.
So the ones before,
Yeah.
they were okay. Like I watched them. They went through 3 different generations, right? The very first ones I had on my XL were smaller. The first macro were slightly bigger, and this one came out with even bigger ones.
Nice. Okay.
So whereas before I was hunting for trying to, how like
Yeah.
a Glock, you got to hunt for it, and like you're probably not getting
There's
it.
plenty of space there, though. I mean, I
no,
could tell, even
no.
with my naked, non-tactical hands, I could tell there's plenty of space there. I'm probably not going to have too many issues with it. But, man, really cool gun. Things are changing. As much as things change, they stay the same. A gun's a gun, but it's just all these teeny tiny little tweaks that just keep upping the ante. I mean, the size, the capacity, the weight. I mean, it's pretty amazing, man. I mean, this thing, we should have had these, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, it would have been incredible, because you just don't need to lug around a big, full-size pistol if you are planning on not using it, This thing, I don't see what I could possibly do with a 226 that I couldn't do with this, or a Glock 17, or even a Glock 19.
One more thing they did, which I thought was pretty thoughtful of them, was they made a different size backstrap. So depending on which grip angle you want, depending on how big your hands are, this one's their large model. It fits my hand perfectly.
Yeah. So this is
I
the
think
larger of 2 or larger of 3?
Larger of 3.
Larger of 3?
Sizes.
Yeah. I've never changed the back straps out on any of the pistols that do that. Like, whatever it is whatever it is, and I just make it work. But generally speaking, it's always the middle one, which is what the factory designed it to be as standard. But yeah, you like the bigger one. It does have some good feel to it. But maybe that's why I don't, maybe if the skinnier one was on there, it would just seem a little bit more exaggerated. But you don't want something that you can't really grip well, because it is going to significantly affect your ability to take follow-up shots, rapid fire sequences, etc. So definitely want to find the one that works for you. Now that I know that that's the big one, that's probably the one I'll go with. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, guys. So this was SIG Sauer X Macro TacOps. It's just our quick deep dive. This is how Ryan Pappas runs his, but you got to figure out what works for you and how to run yours. But obviously, just getting one is the starting point you got to achieve, and I can't wait. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. If you like the review, give us a like, hit that bell. We got a lot of content constantly coming out, and we will see you next time. This is Dorr and Ryan, out.